All right, so the AI story, right, particularly on the investment side, and that's really sparked this big time rally. It's really been one about bottlenecks and the opportunities they create. And my next guest in this firm, they seem to sniff these things out long before anyone else. I want to bring in now President of SemiAnalysis, Doug O'Loughlin. And Doug, I'll start with the thing that caught my eye this morning was CMXT. A Chinese company, they make memory. It's hot. They're going to list on Hong Kong. I think I read 200 times oversubscribed.
Yep.
And it's interesting because China, not China, although maybe it's a Freudian slip, Apple
Yeah.
sort of has been alluding to using their chips because Micron either doesn't have them or they're charging too much. Now CMXT is saying, hey, we're going to charge just as much as everybody else.
Yeah.
What does that say for their memory trade? That sounds amazing to me.
Yeah, I think that's correct. The reality is memory between one player or another is often, you can use either or. And even though they're a new player in the party, and historically China loves to dump technology on the West, right? The reality is demand is strong. Even with that new player, it tells you that the demand is still far in excess of supply, and that's what we continue to see. A lot of the troubles, I think, in the memory market is just the fact, or memory market stocks rather, is just the fact that they're volatile. They are some of the most volatile stocks in existence, but CXMT having long-term agreements, solid pricing, and their capacity, a lot of people are worried about adding too much supply and flipping the whole market.
Right.
They're adding a lot of supply, but we still don't think they can flip the whole thing.
Right. It's interesting. They even told Huawei to pound sand recently, which is like a huge thing to do. But I guess the big thing with that volatility is I still think there's a lot of people who don't believe that this time is different, that maybe it's a blip, but that 50-year trend of memory, pricing going down, that this is not a new paradigm. It's just a temporary, quote unquote, bottleneck. And now these stocks are difficult to price.
So I'm not going to say this time is different, but I am very supportive in the long run, right? Because one of the reasons why people are frankly pretty kind of scared is because historically when the price raises start to top out, then the price falls, and then often you're looking at a brutal memory market cycle.
Right.
We don't think that's going to happen. We think price is going to continue to increase, but not at the rate that it has.
Right.
It's not sustainable to say, hey, next year memory is going to cost five times as much as last year, right?
Right.
We still think a 50 to 100% price increase is possible.
Well, that's huge for a stock trading with 6 PE.
Exactly.
4 PE.
But these cyclicals, they get to the very low PE. And so what I think changes, at some point in time, you have to look out and say, hey, these companies are so cheap, and oftentimes if they're making enough cash, they'll start to buy back shares. And so I think that's what happens. The multiples tend to compress when the rate of growth, and especially in pricing, goes down. And so we're in that part of the cycle. And so how long and the duration is what's going to now dictate the future performance. Because if they can grow EPS at 100, 200%, the stocks will work.
Yeah, I mean, it's mind-boggling. I want to switch gears to another major story. Of course, this is the open source or open source debate, if you will.
Yeah.
A lot of people have come down, taken sides on that. This morning, Jensen posted his first tweet.
I saw.
And he's supporting it. Elon Musk retweeted it. He's supporting it. But before that, a lot of people have been pushing back against this for a number of reasons. Where do you come in on it? By the way, what do you think about Jensen stepping in?
So, it's pretty interesting. If we're talking about bottlenecks, one of the biggest bottlenecks in the world is making a really good model. So for Jensen, I think he's a strategic genius. One of the things that he loves to do is effectively where he sees there's no differentiation or a place that NVIDIA is not going to be able to crush their competition, he tries to commoditize the complement. And so an open source ecosystem means that he has a lot more power over his biggest customers. Today, there really is only 2 or 3 main customers, let's say Anthropic, OpenAI, Gemini. Gemini obviously has the TPU.
Right.
But if everything is an open source model, what you're going to see is hundreds of potential customers. And in that world, Jensen is going to be making bank.
On Wall Street, we call that talking your book.
Yep.
Or promoting your book in this case.
And I do empathize with many of the desires for open source models. If everything becomes closed, these are very, very technologically advanced it's a big deal, and having a small group of people control that historically just doesn't vibe with a lot of the American spirit, right?
Right.
And so I think There's a push and a shove. I don't know if there's a right way. We are always a believer in best of breed wins. And, the same time, actually, and maybe this is unfair to do, like Opus 5 just dropped, like within the last
I saw that before I came down.
Yeah, like last 20 minutes. And you know what? It's a closed source model, but it looks really good on a price to performance basis. And so it's going to be this race of open source behind, closed source ahead, and how much of a gap they can have is going to be the competitive advantage.
At some point, you think it'll be much ado about nothing.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Before I let you go, last time you were here, we talked about Intel.
Yep.
They reported phenomenal pop, under a lot of pressure now. Same thing happened to Google. I thought that cloud number, 82%, Street was looking for 63%, getting hit pretty hard. Is there a message to this market about the fundamentals, or is this really just sort of par for the course in terms of how far these companies have come?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit, I think earlier you're saying lazy summer times, right? You got to remember that this is the second best start to the year for semiconductors in the history of time. 1995 is the only time that it was better. So you have to really appreciate how far we've come. And the reality is, I think it's TSMC, GEV, ASML, all these guys had great prints and they've all been sold. And I think on Google, maybe some of the concern is that they've been selling TPUs. So that isn't a like-to-like on GCP or not. But if you zoom out over, a week, 1 month, 3 months, you look at a phenomenal print. We're talking a business that is, $100 billion plus. Like, this is one of the biggest, most scaled businesses in the history of time, growing at that rate. That's really impressive. And in the long term, I think that'll weigh out.
Great stuff, Doug.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, man. Great seeing you. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too.